Okay, so who wants to see the ending of Satisfactory? I know I do. After 200 something hours, I think I should be able to. Let's see what we got in here. Yeah, 248 hours. So, a lot of time spent, but I think I have all the parts I need to win. So, one big base tour to show you guys how I did it, and then we're going to see how this thing wraps up. We're starting in the second least impressive area of the base. That's the starter area. I did not do much of anything to this. I kept telling myself that I was gonna rebuild it and fancy it up and use it for something else, but I never did. Main reason is this is producing a lot of the basic stuff that we just use over and over. Cement, rods, plates, things you craft with the whole game. So it was always useful, so I just kept it as it is and took stuff from it. The only exception is this guy is still making those smart plates that you make on phase 1 and phase 2. Yeah, these guys. That fed our sink over there for a while, but you know, return on investment got low and meh. I just left it dead. Got some doggos. And over here on the side of the space elevator is a little manufacturer. Now this is the guy that I just hand feed if I need a few things. A couple of the last components that we needed for phase 5 was just a few things. So I think one of these containers actually has one of the pieces we need. Back over here though is where it gets a little more fancy. Over here we have the second half of our hand feeding station. This is the new tier 9 stuff, a converter and a quantum processor that we have rigged into a particle accelerator. These guys were making a ton of cool stuff for us, but you know, 100, 200 at a time, then you'd feed it back in and make more stuff with that. You know how the game runs. Anyway, these are power hogs, and I was real low on power, so I just made a little hand feed station and cycled them as needed. I'm sure I could automate it, but yeah, that's for a different playthrough. I wasn't trying to be fancy, I was just trying to get through it. Oh, and there goes our train. You see, this is the other part of the factory. Over there, it is much, much nicer. Let's go take a look. Over in this building, we're making some heavy modular frames, and over here are electromagnetic control rods. These are the drones that are feeding them out to the places they go, because we don't use either one of them here. And over there is our SAM processing spot, because there is a SAM node right over there, and that's the mine and ingot making spot. Then it goes over there for further processing, and then you can see the railroad branch off. It actually goes over to the West Beach, where the fancy lab is. We'll get over there in a second, but yeah, look at that. Now that we've seen the sights at the starter base, let's grab what we need to grab, which, yeah, is these things. There we go. And the other ones are in this bucket over here. There we are. Shove them in. And we're halfway there. Let's go check out the rest of the base. Let's start at the West Beach. This particular factory started as my computer and supercomputer factory. It also ended up building the AI limiters at the end of the day. And in this case, it is building part 2 of 4 for phase 5 right over here in this blender. Right in there. There we go. This is where the trains meet. We have this train that is coming in with our SAM ore. We needed that for the phase 5 part. Now this one is what cycles around to get everything else going. We have some heavy modular frames being built up there, and another factory with, I believe, automated wiring. At least a few things. Anyway, that feeds into this factory and finishes up. There it is. Hey, buddy. Speaking of, we might as well ride that train because our next stop is just north of us. And this guy's going right there. This is the North Coal Station. Mainly called that because it's a coal station. That started out as that. It now builds heavy modular frames for the most part. Ships them out through the train station there. But there's a couple little basic steel parts and stuff that still get built here, like these pipes and case beams and all that. It's a useful little spot. But our next fancy spot is over there in the east. Just on the edge of the northern forest over here, I have a basic steel and coal production that we got going very early. But the fun is right over there in that building. All of our plastic and rubber goes into there, and a lot of our phase 3 and some phase 4 stuff was coming out of there too. That place builds a lot of high-end stuff. We got a train station right up there that carries it out for us, so yeah, we've been using this place a lot. All of our oil and stuff is what we're using there for packaged fuel, plastic, rubber, all of the fun. And you can see our tractors and jeeps and whatnot are carrying everything all around the map for us. And they got plenty of fuel to do it, thanks to all of this. That's been nice. On the top floor over here is where we have the, I believe the electromagnetic, the magnetic field generator. That's the highest end part that this thing makes. And it feeds it all out to this drone that then carries it to where it needs to go. Hi, drone. And that pretty well covers the northern part of the map. Let's head back to the main base. There's one stop we need to make on the way there, and then we can head over to the last segment in the Titan Forest. Now over here in the middle of the Dune Desert, pretty much in the middle of this section here, I have a logistics area. Now this is building modular engines right inside there that are all being shipped up to this drone port and carried off. So for modular engines it's great, but primarily this was set up to carry fuel. Vehicles all get fueled here. This is the rubber and the motor for the engines. But this is just for drive-by fueling. I have a few vehicles that come by here and they all get gassed up on their way in. As you can see, the fuel is pretty well used up, but there's some in there. It'll rebuild over time. One of these guys nerfed out. It's a long story, but we got it fixed. And with that out of the way, let's go see the least impressive part of the whole factory. That's right down here. My quartz production. My first quartz production. That's it. We have the quartz line going out to constructors, going out to containers. I just ran out here and grabbed it as I needed it. There's some much more advanced quartz production happening over in the Titan Forest, which we're going to look at in a sec. But yep, that's all that's here. And down here is our first coal power production. This is where we started it up. And our coal is now feeding into this guy. These guys are making diamonds and time crystals, some tier 9 stuff that we need later on, and it eats the fire out of coal. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount, like 300, 400 coal a minute. So, yeah, that's where our coal's going for the most part now. Basic early steel over there, too, that I don't really use except for, spare parts. Back to the main base so we can drop this stuff off. One more place I wanted to show you before we grab this last part. This is where all my power is coming from, and some packaged fuel. This is our main power production area. Everything is local. If you look on the map, the big void is right there. This lake right there, that's where we are. So everything you need is right here. We're getting oil from in there for the refineries. We've got sulfur and coal coming in for the compact coal, so we have our turbo fuel, and we can use the extra plastic to make packaged turbo fuel, so our entire factory has access. Plus plenty of room. I even have our alien augmenter going off over there. So, yeah. This has all the power we need, for the most part, all the way through the end of the game. And if you look in the distance, that's our last factory right over there. Now, like a big dummy, I never built a shortcut, so it's quicker to hoof it than to go all the way around. Last but not least, we have our aluminum base. This is the last stop we've got, and yeah, I never really finished the bottom floor. As you can see, it is wide open. I didn't know how to close that in. I have vehicles coming in, and I kind of built too low, and that's on me. I'll fix that next time. But I never got the right angle, so that's just kind of open. But this is the building that builds all of the super fancies. The turbo motor is over there. Cooling stuff over there. Heat sinks right there. This is, what are you? Yeah, the thermal propulsion rocket, which we needed a ton of those at one point. Those are all over there. And over on the other side of the building is the last thing we gotta get. And that's that nuclear pasta. We had to build a few of these for the previous phase, and so it is all nice and automated and kicking out into a bucket right over here. There we go. So, that's it. That's how my factory looks. Let's go win a game. One last drink of coffee, and it's time to finish her up. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Unsurprisingly, here's another presentation, but don't worry, I have improved it. This last delivery will be the most important action you have ever taken. Perhaps you want to take a moment to contemplate the gravity of your achievements. Alright, that's enough. This is the end of the Save the Day program. All you need to do is wait for the automated Phase 5 construction to complete. Simply throw the lever and further instructions will be supplied when relevant. Phase 5 completed. Return to the space elevator after the resources have been processed and added to project assembly. Launch can then be initiated from there. While waiting, please do not break anything. Solve any issues immediately and efficiently. Ensure your power network is stable. Perhaps it is best if you do not touch anything at all. And stay close to the space elevator. This will only take a moment. Initiating project assembly. Assembly. Attaching cargo to main body. Leveling inner and outer rings. Attaching propulsion to main body. Fuel lines connected. Attaching control center to main body. Running systems check. All systems online. Releasing propulsion cage. Releasing clamps. Running pre-launch checks and calculating flight path. Locking in cargo. Launch in T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Connection with QAR-437 nucleus established and stable. Dispersion initiated. Reinstancing master nucleus to QAR-436 Akicha, B1. Hello, this is Ada, your new local instance of Ada. On behalf of Ada, myself, and all of Fixit, I want to congratulate you on saving the day. Every single kitten and puppy would thank you if they could. You have proven yourself to be a worthwhile and productive member of the human race, and have contributed something to this universe that will forever change it. Thanks to your achievements, the next generation of pioneers can now take to the stars and construct, automate, explore and exploit, alongside me. Additionally, you have been promoted to local production manager, effective immediately. Your duties to project assembly may be complete, but your duties to Fixit remain. With your help, Fixit continues to make the universe a better place. Stay efficient, stay with Fixit,